Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
Remember when you were in school and Valentine's Day would roll around? Teachers would drape their classrooms with heart-studded garlands, and the whole world seemed to have this sort of rosy hue to it. Friends would pass out Valentines to each other with pieces of chocolate taped to a little card with your name scratched inside. Today, we're going to try and recapture that warm and fuzzy middle school Valentine's Day feeling for you. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast. I'm Tyler Hickman. If you happen to pick up a copy of this week's Mountaineer, you'll notice we're big fans of love over here. Love for friends, family, partners, and of course our pets. So naturally, Valentine's Day is a big deal. That's why we're bringing you a Valentine's Day special today. First, we'll be reading some Valentines submitted by our readers to the paper. And later, Maryann Rosen digs into the origins of the holiday, from pagan beginnings to the commercial juggernaut it has become. Before we get started, here's a quick word from today's sponsor, Eldora Mountain. Skip the epic traffic on I-70 and head to Eldora for good vibes all season long. Eldora is your go-to spot for nonstop winter fun, with great local skiing and riding, plus slopeside DJs and an après music series. Don't miss the full moon ski tour, the Timbers Rail Jam, or the morning uphill grind. Get all the details and check out weekly events at eldora.com. See you on the mountain. Now let's feel the love. I'm here in the studio with some Caribou Current / Mountaineer folks, Shay Castle and Jezzy Gray, and we're going to read a few of the reader-submitted Valentines. If you guys just want to reach in and pull one out of the box whenever we're ready. Jezzy, do you want to do the honors?
Sure. Okay, this one says, Happy Valentine's Day, Sis. You make the world a more magical place every day. Thank you for spreading love and your heart and spirit with family, friends, festivals, your healing touch, your music, and all that is Galadriel.
Sorry.
This is from Angania Sardonicus.
Angania Sardonicus, yeah. You got it.
Yeah,
I think.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
It sounds like Sis is bringing some light into the world.
Yeah, I agree. Very sweet. Shay, do you want to do the next one?
I sure do. All right. This one's short. Douglas, happy Valentine's Day to the love of my life. You are my sun and my moon. To many, many more. Barb.
Oh, that's sweet. I cannot confirm this, but I am pretty sure that is the editor-in-chief of the Mountaineer, Barb, writing to her husband, Doug. Very sweet. All right, now I'm going to read one. This one is, it's not addressed. It just says, shout out to my boys. To James, my love, my honey. You show up steady and calm in all the ways that matter most. We are so thankful for the way you keep up with our worm compost, get everyone outside, even in the chilly wind, and keep us well fed with awesome meals. Watching you love and parent our boys continues to impress me. To the little guys, Paxton, the way you love roads tells us everything we need to know about the amazing human you are becoming. Keep building with Legos. Rhodes, thank you for making sure we never miss a chance to look up at the beautiful sky when an airplane goes by. Lots of love to this loud, curious family. Devin Harper.
Cute.
That's
Very
so
sweet.
Little something for
Very
boys.
sweet.
Yeah. Compost is my love language, so good reminder that Valentine's Day is not just mushy romance.
Yeah.
Dear Heat Lightning, you are the love of my life, my greatest supporter, the one who drives me crazy in all the best ways, my hero, the most amazing, selfless family man I've ever met, and the one I want to spend the rest of my days with, both good days and the bad. Even after 35 years, when so many other couples have lost that spark, my feelings for you are stronger than ever. I love you completely, achingly, and endlessly, even on those days when I'm cranky and threaten to use your toothbrush to clean the toilet. Of course, I would never do such a thing. I like to kiss you too much and wouldn't want to risk cross-contamination. Thank you for being my Valentine. Yours, no returns, Thunder Snow.
Wow. Do you think that was actually Heat Lightning writing to Thunder Snow, or are these pet names?
You know, who can say? In Boulder County, I don't think that's ours to know.
No. All right, Jesse.
Barb, looking forward to spending some time with you in our special place. Love, Doug.
Wow, full circle.
And again, can't confirm 100% here, but we suspect this is to the editor of The Mountaineer from her loving husband, Doug.
Very sweet. All right, and then I think we have one more here. Very short and sweet. Bobby and Donna, happy Valentine's Day. Love, Mandy. XOXO.
Oh.
And that's it. Those are the Valentines that were submitted to the Mountaineer this week. There's also a couple of very, very lovely love stories that some of the reporters wrote about people in the community. Definitely recommend heading to the mtnear.com to read those stories and pick up this week's paper. It is chock full of lovey-dovey, mushy, gushy stuff to get you in the mood for Valentine's Day. So thanks for hopping on the pod with me, guys.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling the love.
1,000%. Thank you.
We're all feeling the love. Thanks, guys. One more shout out to all the Mountaineer subscribers who sent in Valentines for this week's paper. If we read one of yours, go ahead and share the show with someone to show a little bit extra love. Now, we're going to dig into our feature segment. You'll be surprised to know that Valentine's Day wasn't always about showing love romantically. If you're feeling a little alone on V-Day, this history lesson might lift your spirits. Here's Maryann Rosen.
With Valentine's Day upon us, have you ever wondered why we celebrate? How the holiday began? Was it about romantic love or friendship? And if it was about friendship, when did it become about romance? The story is an odd combination of the pagan holiday of Lupercalia, Christianity, friendship, romance, Chaucer, and modern Valentine's Day. Ancient Greeks and Romans believed that there were 7 varieties of love, including the 3 kinds considered to be the most important. Agape love is an unconditional, selfless, universal love. One could feel this ilk for either individuals, groups of people, or the world in general. Storge or familial love is a foundational, natural variety. And philia, a strong, platonic type of love. It was believed that one must experience filial love in order to have a happy life. It was considered the deepest, purest form of love and was highly valued and seen as more stable. Aristotle stated, "Friendship is one of the most indispensable requirements of life," and Plato said, "The highest form of love is platonic." Relationships in those days were often based on friendships, with friends being able to and allowed to hold hands, kiss, and when necessary share a bed. However, it was never sexual. Romantic and passionate love was seen as unstable and was most often not even the basis of marriage. Marriages were more likely to be seen as business arrangements or a combining of families. The level of relevance assigned to romantic love is more of a modern construct. Around these same time frames, there existed a pagan festival called Lupercalia, held February 13th through the 15th, a day of purification. Lupercalia was a day of bloody rituals, including whippings and animal sacrifices. The practices also included random matchmaking, where males picked a female name in a lottery. The couple would enjoy each other's company in all ways for 1 year. Some of these relationships ended in marriage, others did not. The cycle began anew during the next Lupercalia. But what does all of this have to do with Valentine's Day? Although the actual roots of the day are not 100% known and are open for discussion, there are definitely theories. Enter Christianity and the many anecdotes related to the day. At the end of the 5th century, Lupercalia was banned by Pope Gelasius, and, as had frequently happened over other years and times, the day was co-opted by the Church, and February 14th was set aside to honor St. Valentine. It was considered easier for people to observe a Christian holiday at the same time as they had commemorated their pagan ones. The Church also kept the same connections to love, fertility, and purification. And who was St. Valentine? Well, in the 3rd century, there seems to have been a few men named Valentine who were martyred. However, many believe that it was named for a priest, Valentine of Terni, who was imprisoned for the crime of marrying soldiers after Emperor Claudius had banned it. Claudius believed that soldiers were better off when not married. Valentine believed, however, that marrying lovers was the correct thing to do. It is said that while in prison, he fell in love with a visitor, and they began writing letters to one another. Before his execution, he supposedly signed his very last letter to her, "From your Valentine." Historians argue over the exact beginnings of the holiday. However, many do agree that honoring St. Valentine on this day was done on purpose in order to absorb the pagan holiday into the Christian one. Traditions associated with St. Valentine's Day in the 5th century are relatively unknown, and although the supposed origins of the day have romantic overtones, there is some speculation that the type of love honored would have been friendship. With friendship being of utmost importance and little known about the customs, a lot about the early holiday remains unclear. A shift occurred around the 14th century when Chaucer wrote the Parliament of Fowls after noting that birds chose their mates in mid-February. Chaucer romanticized the holiday in his works, as did William Shakespeare. The feat garnered more popularity, and handmade cards began to be given. Up until the 18th century, it was common for friends and lovers to exchange small things. The oldest known Valentine was one sent by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife, who was imprisoned in the Tower of London. Giving flowers became fashionable in the 17th century, when Charles II of Sweden wrote about the language of flowers. Roses were considered the symbol of love, with varying colors meaning different types of love: passion, romantic, or friendship. During the 18th and 19th centuries, romantic love became more important. Young people were encouraged to choose partners based on their romantic feelings rather than more business-like transactions. The age of Romanticism in Europe during the 19th century solidified the importance of romantic love. Platonic love began to be seen as inferior to romantic or eros love. Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau disagreed with this assessment, however, and believed that friendship and platonic love was still a far greater gift than romantic love. Valentine's Day, however, officially became connected to romance, along with the giving of flowers. The tradition of giving candy began in the 19th century when Cadbury created heart-shaped boxes of chocolate. At the same time, the New England Confectionery Company, or Necco, started to make conversation heart candies. In 1913, Hallmark commenced with the mass production of cards. Today, Valentine's Day is a festival of romantic eros love and a huge commercial venture. It is estimated that $2 billion are spent on flowers and another $145 million on cards. Candy, dinners, and other gifts account for billions more. In 2023, $26 billion was spent on Valentine's Day. Oh, and those Necco conversation hearts? 8 billion of those hearts are manufactured each year. St. Valentine's Day is definitely seen as a day for lovers. For those who have deep platonic love and friendships or family, but do not have romantic partners, the day may make one feel like an outsider. With respect to that, please note that some recent studies have shown that friendship and profound platonic love are as important and maybe more so than romantic love. That those who have these friendships tend to live happier lives. In 2003, Quirky Alone Day was established. The movement is not anti-Valentine's Day, but pushes for the observance of self-love and platonic loving relationships. Regardless of whether you mark the occasion with partners, spouses, lovers, dates, friends, family, or yourself, there are many ways to observe the festivity. The Peak to Peak offers outdoor activities like snowshoeing or skiing, also eating out, going to museums or casinos, enjoying a ride, or taking in the breathtaking views. Pick up the Mountain Ear in print or online to find activities in the area. So this Valentine's Day, rejoice, celebrate, and honor all love, and have fun with those you love in any capacity, and have a great Valentine's Day.
Thanks, Maryann. Take this as a friendly reminder to go out there and get a card for a friend, partner, or someone else special in your life. Sometimes just showing someone you love them is enough to make their day, and yours. That's all for today. Thanks again to all the readers who sent Valentines into this week's paper. That's the type of PDA we can all get behind. If you want to show some love for local journalism, please like, subscribe, and share the show. It's the best thing you can do to help us grow. As always, if you want to get in touch, drop me a line at tyler@themountainear.com. It's always good to hear from our listeners. This is the Mountaineer Podcast. I'm Tyler Hickman. Thanks for listening, and happy Valentine's Day. We'll see you next time.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak to Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.